these are 5 trials, which is ticagrelor versus prasugrel in the patient with acute coronary syndrome, which is tug of war between two antiplatelets, ticagrelor and prasugrel. This trial was conducted in published on 1st of September 2019 in NEJM. As everyone know, as per World Health Organization data, acute coronary artery disease prevalence continues to be rising in India with rapid epidemiological transition. It already surpassed communicable diseases as major cause of mortality in India. From 2000 to 2017, annual ILD mortality increased from 0.85 to 1.54 million, with greater increase in women, that is 0.3 to 0.62 million. Nearly 3 million of stimulation MI estimated to occur in India every year.
3 million?
Yes.
30 लाख तो आटला देश में बहुत ओछी कहेवाय. बहुत ओछું કહેવાય.
हाँ सर.
और यार.
Per year. According to American Heart Association, approximately 720,000 persons in the United States have first episode of acute coronary syndrome, and approximately 335,000 will have recurrent coronary events in 2019. So, antiplatelet medications and strategies to lower level of low density lipoprotein are cornerstone therapies to reduce current antithrombotic events. After discovery of dual oral antiplatelet therapy for ACS, an avalanche of research has accumulated in emergence of faster acting and more potent and consistent antiplatelet agents like ticagrelor and prasugrel. This is the avalanche of the trials of antiplatelet therapy. Here we can see aspirin is a cornerstone antiplatelet which has been started from very early. Later on, there has been many antiplatelets like ticlopidine, clopidogrel, prasugrel, and ticagrelor on which trial has been conducted. Size of circle shows the number of participants in the study, and color of the circle shows the drug on which trial has been conducted. Here we can see most of the trials are compared between clopidogrel and prasugrel or clopidogrel or ticagrelor. Like first trial, pure trial, which was landmark trial for clopidogrel, which has been conducted between clopidogrel and aspirin. This is landmark trial of prasugrel, which has plateau trial, which has been released in 2019, which has been conducted between it is a trial of ticagrelor, which is conducted between ticagrelor and clopidogrel. And the landmark trial of prasugrel is here, Tridion TV38 trial, which has been conducted in 2007, which compares the prasugrel with clopidogrel. Here we can see every trial either consider the single drug or compare with this clopidogrel or aspirin. There are few trials which compare the two drugs, prasugrel or ticagrelor. And here we can see the small drug, here ISAR triple trial, and here ISAR REACT trial is small, where the two drugs, prasugrel and ticagrelor, were compared in 2019. Coming to the review of literature about whole trial, only two main trials I want to highlight. This is a plateau trial in 2019, which signifies a significant reduction in primary outcome, and there is no significant increase in major bleeding incidences in ticagrelor and clopidogrel. And second trial is Tridion TV18 trial. It also significantly it says that significantly reduces the primary endpoint in the patient with clopidogrel and in the patient with prasugrel over clopidogrel. But this trial signifies that there is a higher rate of major bleeding tendency in prasugrel. And as this is a landmark trial for prasugrel, so everyone while prescribing the prasugrel is fearing about the bleeding tendency of prasugrel. So prasugrel always kept as a second option over the ticagrelor over the time. Tridion, as I explained, Tridion TV trial, prasugrel was superior to clopidogrel in reducing composite cardiovascular endpoint in the form of death from cardiovascular causes, non-fatal myocardial ischemia, non-fatal stroke after acute coronary syndrome. The result was driven by reduction in incidence of recurrent myocardial infarction, but occurred at the expense of increasing the major bleeding risk. And second landmark trial, plateau trial, ticagrelor was superior to clopidogrel in reducing the incidence of composite CV outcome in the form of However, this trial shows there is increase in rate of bleeding in non-procedure related, not procedure related bleedings. So after that, the American College of Cardiology Foundation updated the guidelines and incorporated these two antiplatelet drugs in the uh, guidelines. So coming to the large scenario, current scenario of antiplatelets, at present with prasugrel was indicated in invasive ACS cases, but it was not recommended in ACS conservative, and ticagrelor was indicated in both ACS in conservative as well as invasive.
Prasugrel was initially indicated in invasive.
Invasive only, sir.
Then it was taken.
So this is the current guidelines for starting of antiplatelet therapy in acute coronary syndrome or ischemic heart disease. Here we can say that with high bleeding risk, any patient having high bleeding risk, either is a stable CD, ACS or undergoing CABG, PC or medical treatment, we only see aspirin plus clopidogrel. And here, only if patient is undergoing PCI with high bleeding tendency, we can give ticagrelor, but we can't give prasugrel here. Here we can say high bleeding is clopidogrel plus ticagrelor, and when there is no bleeding tendencies, I want to highlight this section. In acute coronary syndrome without high bleeding risk, there is a they recommended the prasugrel, ticagrelor or clopidogrel, any three of these as per the guidelines. But no guidelines has compared whether to give prasugrel or ticagrelor with proper indications. So why ticagrelor? Remarkable reduction in incidences of recurrent myocardial infarction and ticagrelor has reversible action and faster onset. That's why ticagrelor has been preferred. So clinical community promptly adopted the ticagrelor for the use in the patient with acute coronary syndromes. Various randomized trials have shown the superiority of prasugrel and ticagrelor over clopidogrel with ACS, but both drugs received class 1 recommendation for use in the patient who have acute coronary syndrome with ST elevation MI. However, data are lacking on the relative merit of treatment for 1 year with ticagrelor as compared with prasugrel in the patient with acute coronary syndrome for whom invasive evaluation is planned. So whenever I in OPD I prescribe prasugrel or ticagrelor in eligible patient, you ever ask me why you do so? So if we all work on the assumption that what is accepted is really true, there will be little hope of advance. So researcher undertook the investigator-initiated multi-center randomized clinical trial to compare the efficacy and safety of two treatment strategies in the patient with acute coronary syndrome. One is based on ticagrelor, second is based on prasugrel. Coming to the study materials and methods, the trial design oversight is investigator-initiated phase 4 multi-center randomized trial. This is an open-label trial conducted in 20 cases from 23 countries from Europe. The design and rationale of trial have been published already previously. The trial population, the patient who were hospitalized for acute coronary syndrome for which invasive evaluation is planned. This is the point. From this trial was conducted only that patient where invasive evaluation in the form of coronary angiography was planned, not on medical management. The patient was scheduled to undergo coronary angiography. Exclusion criteria was determined predominantly from the summary of previous medical trials and procedures. Randomization, patient who all met the inclusion criteria and none of exclusion criteria were randomly assigned in consecutive order to either ticagrelor group or prasugrel group in the form of 1:1. Inclusion criteria, the patient is hospitalized with acute coronary syndrome which includes ST elevation MI, unstable angina, non-ST elevation MI. ST MI is defined as chest pain more than 20 minutes within 24 hours and either ST elevation of 1 mm elevation in limb leads or more than 2 consecutive leads and newly or presumably new LVB pattern. Non-STEMI and stable angina defined as per the protocol with chest pain more than 10 minutes within 48 hours and ST segment depression more than 1 mm in more than 1 or 2 consecutive ECG leads and elevated profile CKMB level or more than 2 higher clinical criteria. Here is the detail of 4 inclusion and exclusion criteria of these patients. The main exclusion criteria I want to highlight is they excluded the patient with major bleeding risk like intracranial aneurysm, active bleeding tendency, or previous history of bleeding, platelets count less than 1 lakh and etc. Materials and method. What they have done to patient? Every patient received a loading dose of aspirin of 150 to 200 mg and maintenance dose they have received is 75 to 100 mg once a daily to all of the patient, irrespective of clinical presentation. Ticagrelor, patient randomized to ticagrelor received the loading dose of 180 mg as soon as possible after randomization, followed by 90 mg maintenance dose daily. For prasugrel group, the patient with STMI randomized to prasugrel group received the 60 mg loading dose as soon as possible after randomization, followed by 10 mg maintenance dose once a day. Here, second point is important. The patient randomized to prasugrel who has a non-stimulation MI received 60 mg loading dose after the coronary anatomy was known. That is, after coronary angiography, before PCI they received the prasugrel dose. And they have modified this trial in this way that the patient aged more than 75 years or those with body weight less than 60 kg, 5 mg maintenance dose of prasugrel was recommended, which is half of the previous dose. So
that means during the procedure, once you get an angio done, then you give prasugrel and then you put stent.
Yes.
In same sitting.
Yes. It is the recommended. I have added one slide for that. It's a specific trial recommended this. So here is summary of the randomization. Patient randomized categorized into two groups, ST elevation and non-ST elevation MI. After randomization, ticagrelor and prasugrel group received a loading dose immediately after the randomization. After angiography, they both drugs were continued as a maintenance dose as 90 mg ticagrelor and prasugrel. But in the considered cases of non-ST elevation MI, ticagrelor group received the loading dose immediately after randomization, but prasugrel received the loading dose after angiography coronary anatomy was known. After that PCI, the loading dose was maintenance dose was continued as previous. What different done in this trial as compared to previous study on TB3 or plateau trial? The investigators appropriately used the reduced maintenance dose of prasugrel in the patient who have 75 years of age or older, and those who had body weight less than 60 kg, approximately 30% of the population. This is a very large population who have received the reduced dose of prasugrel, and excluded the patient with history of cerebrovascular event, the population which has a late clinical harm in treated on TB trial, which suggested more bleeding risk with prasugrel. Basically, they have removed the cases with negative points from the previous trials. This protocol details implemented by the investigators probably helped to unmask the salutary effect of prasugrel in ISARIAC 5 trials. Trial endpoints and recommendation. The outcome, the major primary outcome of the trial was composite death, myocardial infarction, and stroke after within 1 year after randomization. And secondary endpoints, they were considered as bleeding tendency, BRC class 3 and 5. I will explain the score later on. And incidence of individual component of primary endpoint means EMI, stroke, and death individually in the secondary outcome. And stent thrombosis, ERC criteria, definite or as per ERC criteria, definite or probable stent thrombosis. Follow-up was performed at 30 days, 6 months, and 12 months. These are some trial point definition about death, myocardial infarction, stroke, stent thrombosis. MI definition was taken according to universal third definition of myocardial infarction.
There is only cardiovascular death or any death?
Both, they have categorized both. There is slide of that in result sections. But considering the outcome, they consider the whole death for the analysis. But they have taken the CV death as a different data idea. Here we can see the past bleeding score, where type 1 there is any bleeding that is not actionable. Type 2 any clinical old bleeding with actionable sign of bleeding requires treatment but does not fit into category of below. That is, they do not require any blood transfusion, hospitalization or everything. mainly we are worried about type 3 bleeding, which type 3A bleeding, which require immediate transfusion with hemoglobin drop of 3 to 5. Type 3B is hemoglobin drop more than 5 gram, and type 3 is intractable, intracerebral hemorrhage or intraocular bleeding. And type 4 and type 5 bleeding are related to surgery and keratosis. Coming to the result of this patient, the important participant characteristics. This trial enrolled 4,018 patients recruited from 23 centers, 21 in Germany, 2 in Italy. 2012 patient assigned to ticagrelor and 2006 patient assigned to prasugrel. The suspected diagnosis on admission is 41.1% presented with ST MI, 46.2% of the patient presented with non-ST MI, and 12.7% of the patient presented with unstable angina. Before admission, 34.7% of the patient present in ticagrelor group and 35.6% of the patient in prasugrel group were taking aspirin already. 5% of the patient in ticagrelor group and 4.7% of the patient in prasugrel group are already taking clopidogrel before admission. There is no significant other demographic differences seen in the both.
So these all 4,018 patients at least underwent angiography.
Yes. And yes.
Right?
Yes. I want to correct something. I think here is a coronary angiography. There was 2 to 3 patients have not done coronary angiography.
Then why they were included? The inclusion criteria was in which invasion is planned.
But here in notes they have said that patient expired during hospital.
Achha.
I think.
Angioma leta પહેલા જ રામ થઈ ગયું.
But they included in the days due to acute coronary syndrome, sir.
Okay, but then you cannot see the result in the statistics.
And that point came into limit. But there is very few negligible person.
કેટલા percentage છે? અહીંથી તો વધારે.
99.6% and 99.8%, sir.
Okay, ચાલો.
Very that is acceptable. Total 84.1 patient underwent primary PCI. 2.1% of the patient underwent CABG after angiography, and 12.3% of the patient received GP2/3B and 3 inhibitor who underwent PCI. More than 99% of the patients who are receiving aspirin and discharge on the daily dose of 100 mg or less. Here is the point to be noted: this aspirin dosage was lower aspirin dosage, not more than 100. The loading dose of trial medication was given to the patients in ticagrelor group was 1985, that is 98.7%, and the prasugrel group in 1728 patients, that is 86.1%. After 1 year follow-up, 240 patients of 602 patients who were receiving ticagrelor at discharge, and 199 of 1596 patients who will receive prasugrel at discharge discontinue the trial phase. Coming to the endpoint, so, here is the main endpoint outcome slide of this study. Here we can see the primary endpoint in the form of death from any cause, myocardial infarction and stroke at within 1 year. In the ticagrelor group, there were 184 patients, that is 9.1% of the patients have achieved the primary outcome, and in prasugrel it is 137, that is 6.8% of the patient achieved primary outcome. With
Outcome is not achieved.
Outcome occurred, sorry, actually.
We are not achieving there, right?
Wrong words. The outcome occurs. So it shows that the advantage of prasugrel versus ticagrelor in the first point. In secondary outcome, they divided the death from any cause in different death from any cause, MI and stroke in different sections. That is, death from any cause occurred in 4.5% of the patient, ticagrelor 3.7% of the patient, prasugrel. MI occurred in 4.8 and 3.0 in ticagrelor and prasugrel respectively. Stroke occurred in 1.1 and 1.0 in ticagrelor and prasugrel. And here is the main I want to highlight: the incidence of bleeding at the 1 year, that is type 3, 4, 5, a significant bleeding occurred in 5.4% of the patient in ticagrelor, that is 95%, and prasugrel 4.8% of the patient, that 80%, with 0.46 p value is not significant. As
Will you accept these statistics?
As the null hypothesis of the trial was said that ticagrelor is better than prasugrel.
Why we should challenge this?
Because the prasugrel was shown inferiority to ticagrelor due to increased bleeding tendencies. Although here the drug has more ischemic benefit, but this trial shows that no increase in bleeding tendency is in a prasugrel group. This is not significant. Said that.
So it has to be pharmaceutical because what is the mechanism of action of both? What's the difference?
One is reversible, other is irreversible product.
Which is more potent?
Ticagrelor is more potent, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
And what is the onset of action of ticagrelor?
3 to 4.
What is the onset of action of prasugrel?
It is less, sir, 2 to 3 hours.
Then, so lesser. Prasugrel comes in plasma within 50 minutes.
Yes.
1-5.
Yes, sir.
And effect starts within 1 hour.
Yes.
Okay, so this bleeding criteria, either it is pharmaceutical, or second important point that in those subset of patients who's previously shown high risk, high bleeding, they were not included here.
Already I said that.
Yeah,
and
that
second
was the
point
point.
I want to add is they are also reduced the dose of prasugrel, sir, which at the level that they it also beneficial to prevent ischemic episode with reduction of bleeding tendencies, sir. That's
But
maybe the reason.
still 95 and 80 are little questionable.
Yes, this is not significant, sir. That's why I want to highlight it. There is no significant increase in bleeding tendency in prasugrel, sir. It is not significant, sir. But first primary outcome is significant, sir. Prasugrel is better to prevent more ischemic event than ticagrelor, sir. What this trial have mentioned, sir.
So both things are contradictory to each other.
No contradiction.
Say a particular antiplatelet is improving your cardiac outcome.
Yes, sir. But
And one is better than other.
Ah,
But the worse component is more bleeding. And the better component is less bleeding. How it is possible?
I want to add, sir. There is no more bleeding in the ticagrelor. I want to highlight.
Okay,
There is
I am
no increase
focusing
in
on
bleeding
numbers.
tendency, sir.
I am focusing on numbers.
There is
Well, the numbers are not statistically significant,
yes.
but your A drug is having more antiplatelet activity,
Yes.
but less bleeding.
yes, sir.
How it is possible? Don't you think so logically?
Yes, sir. Logically can. As but ये जो हायर रीडिंग दिस वाले वही पेशेंट अगर उन्होंने बाहर निकाले तो ऑलरेडी इफेक्ट कम आ गया आएगा सर.
ठीक है, तो वो ऐसे ही जो रेंडमाइज हो जाता था तो दुनिया अपनी हेवन हो जाती है.
This is a final clinical endpoint of table of this. Here I want to highlight the death section. Here they have classified the death from any cause, death from cardiovascular cause, death from cardiovascular cause in 90. Taking the differential death causes, here they also said that death from cardiovascular causes is significantly lower in prasugrel. Coming to the discussion, the lower incidence of the composite endpoint was primarily driven by fewer myocardial infarction in prasugrel group than in ticagrelor group. As a contrary to review of literature, the benefit of fewer ischemic events with prasugrel did not occur at the expense of increased bleeding risk. These results are consistent across the whole spectrum of presentation of acute coronary syndromes. In Plato trial, the pre-treatment with ticagrelor was associated with early benefit over clopidogrel. There is a trial conducted by Montella Scott et al. For the pre-treatment, which I have said earlier. Pre-treatment with prasugrel was not beneficial in the patient who had acute coronary syndrome without ST elevation MI, as it was associated with increased incidence of major bleeding complications. On the basis of the rationale that stronger platelet inhibition at the time of PCI reduces the peri-procedure thrombotic risk, the pre-treatment strategy ticagrelor was considered to be advantageous. The present trial shows that prasugrel-based strategy with deferred loading dose after knowledge of coronary anatomy in the patient with acute coronary syndromes without stimulation MI was superior to the ticagrelor-based strategy with routine pre-treatments. Ticagrelor was a prasugrel in Plato trial. Ticagrelor was superior to clopidogrel not only the patient who underwent PCI but also who received the conservative therapy. Previous findings suggest the consistent benefits of ticagrelor but not the consistent benefit of prasugrel in the patient with acute coronary syndrome who received the conservative therapies. In trialogy ACS trial, prasugrel was not superior to clopidogrel in patient who had acute coronary syndrome without ST elevation MI who did not undergo the risk revascularization. This trialogy ACS trial also deferred the use of prasugrel or clopidogrel. But in CARTO trial, only 61% of the patients underwent PCI during the index hospitalization. PCI was performed more frequently in this trial, so the patients who are willing for PCI, this trial remains more significant than CARTO trial. Therefore, the contribution of the patient who did not undergo PCI to overall result was relatively small in this trial. Finally, the pharmacodynamic studies showing the stronger antiplatelet effect of ticagrelor and potential benefit of pleiotropic effect of ticagrelor, particularly those related to increased release of adenosine, favored expectation of superiority of ticagrelor over prasugrel in current trials. The unexpected finding was that the risk of ischemic events, the composite death, myocardial infarction, and stroke at the 1 year after randomization is 5 trial was significantly lower in the prasugrel and ticagrelor groups. There is another trial by Motoska et al. Prasugrel versus ticagrelor in the patient with acute myocardial infarction treated with primary coronary intubation, multi-center randomized trial. I want to highlight this trial. This is the similar of kind of the previous trials. This trial was conducted to compare between ticagrelor and prasugrel in the form of bleeding tendencies. It was a randomized head-to-head trial comparison trial that aimed to assess clinical outcomes with ticagrelor versus prasugrel in the patient with acute coronary syndrome. Was discontinued prematurely after recruitment of 1230 patients due to futility of this trial because this trial has not shown any significant increase in bleeding tendency in prasugrel or ticagrelor. In this trial, 95% of recruited patients presented with STMI. So the number of acute coronary syndrome without ST elevation MI was negligible in this trial. The incidence of primary composite net clinical endpoint assessed after 7 days in this trial not differ between ticagrelor and prasugrel. However, the reimbursement constraint led to higher incidence of switching clopidogrel at the discharge. This precluded the reliable comparison of clinical outcomes with the two trial drugs during 1 year follow-up period. But this trial was short-term. Coming to the conclusion, among the patients who presented with acute coronary syndrome with or without ST segment elevation, the incidence of composite endpoint death, myocardial infarction, stroke was significantly lower among the patients who received prasugrel than among the who received ticagrelor. The incidence of major bleeding tendency was not higher in prasugrel group than ticagrelor group. Population included more than 75 years and less than 60 kg of weight who received the reduced prasugrel maintenance dose of 5 mg daily instead of 10 mg daily after initial 60 mg load without documented increase of that can be the reason of not increase in bleeding tendency. This information could potentially change our management in this patient population by encouraging frequent use of prasugrel. Coming to the limitation, there are so much limitation in the study I have summarized. First, the benefit of prasugrel has not been shown in patients with acute coronary syndrome who have received conservative medical therapy, as said. Unlike ticagrelor, the long-term benefits of prasugrel beyond 1 year, that is the first, ticagrelor trial was conducted till 2 years, 3 years, 3 year duration, but the benefit of beyond 1 year and its use as a part of dual antiplatelet strategy in the patient who have acute coronary syndrome and atrial fibrillation was not well studied. Interaction between treatment effect, aspirin dosage has been reported in ticagrelor but not in prasugrel. However, the actual dose of aspirin in the present trial was given less only, 100 mg per day, as compared to Plateau trial where 300 mg aspirin dose were given in 54% of the patients. Moreover, the compliance issues, the once a daily administration of prasugrel versus twice a daily regimen of ticagrelor, differences in half-life, reversibility of action, interaction with other drugs, and different side effects profile of two drugs may also warrant the consideration. This is an open label trial making more subject bias and was said. Higher compliance rate, that is 99.6 and 99.1% in ticagrelor and prasugrel group respectively, raise concern or potential over-reporting of the medication adherence, which is practically seems less likely, particularly in setting of
Specifically in phase 4 trial.
हाँ.
phase 3 होता तो और भी सोच लेते सर.
yes. Particularly setting only 10% of follow-up being face-to-face, while remaining 83% of the patient were phone and return correspondence. That is a very big negative point of this trial. They say हमने drug ले लिया, वो लेते नहीं लेते पता नहीं. Importance to note the difference that primary outcome was largely due to individual component of myocardial infarction. That is higher incidence of MI occurred in type 4A or type 4B MI in ticagrelor arm. Which raising question compliance of ticagrelor patient with effect of patient is switched from ticagrelor at the time of the check. Moreover, the follow-up were conducted by telephone and not face-to-face contact. There are many limitations of the trial. So, but whatever the limitations, they have explored the trial to challenge the guidelines. We have to research more and more to compare prasugrel and ticagrelor drugs. So, if this trial and if this conclusion said to be true, what can be the recommendations, proposed recommendations? So, patient with acute coronary syndrome with any history of ischemic stroke or TIA. If they have history, then we go with straightforward ticagrelor. If they have no significant bleeding history, TIA or ischemic stroke. If patient has ST elevation MI, they propose the consideration of prasugrel over ticagrelor. If patient has not the case of STEMI, that is patient is unstable angina or non-STEMI. If patient is managed with ischemia guided therapy, instead go with ticagrelor. If patient has been undergone posted for coronary angiography, if patient after coronary angiography posted for CVD surgery, you can use ticagrelor or prasugrel, as there is no increase in bleeding tendency.
So will you give ticagrelor before that in this? Before subjecting patient to angiography?
No, sir. At present, sir, the recommended, sir, before angiography, sir, ticagrelor and prasugrel, as said earlier, after planned procedure, so planned intervention, sir. If patient is undergone PCI, they recommended that you can consider prasugrel over ticagrelor, sir. In medical therapy, the point is clear, ticagrelor, sir. These are the recommendations, sir. So,
तो proposed mechanism અત્યારની ACCH
no, proposed mechanism only on if the trial conclusion.
What is ACCH guidelines current?
Current, sir, the guideline doesn't mention the ticagrelor versus prasugrel.
बीच में वो आपका स्लाइड था ना,
Yes,
वो current, वो कौन सा year का था, वो निकालो।
I'll see.
Sir. How will you manage the bleeding done by these two drugs? ब्लीडिंग कैसे मैनेज करेंगे वो बता दो पहले मुझे.
फर्स्ट कंजर्वेटिव मैनेजमेंट सर, सेकंड इज प्लेटलेट ट्रांसफ्यूजन सर.
प्लेटलेट ट्रांसफ्यूजन में क्या-क्या चीजें ध्यान में रखोगे?
फ्रेश प्लेटलेट ट्रांसफ्यूजन.
So one is as far as possible HTP देना है. दूसरा
HTP देना है सर.
Does the previous dosing of antiplatelet will affect the outcome? कितने टाइम पहले लिया गया है कि prasugrel या ticagrelor? और किसमें आपके प्लेटलेट सक्सेसफुल जाने के चांसेस है, किसमें नहीं है?
वो तो ticagrelor ग्रुप में सर वेरी सक्सेसफुल, वो ये पता है सर.
ऐसा नहीं है, उल्टा है. prasugrel वाले में अगर 6 घंटे बाद देता है तो ऑलमोस्ट सर्टेन कि आप 1 या 2 यूनिट दे दो, बात खत्म हो जाएगी. ticagrelor के मेटाबोलाइट्स, एक्टिव मेटाबोलाइट्स फिर भी रहते हैं, बट इट्स अ रिवर्सिबल इनहिबिटर, इसलिए वो बीडी देना पड़ता है. अदरवाइज वो ब्लड में फिर भी पाए जाते हैं, तो जो भी प्लेटलेट आप ट्रांसफ्यूज करोगे उसको वो इनहिबिट कर देता है. So it is again an issue with ticagrelor.
Okay sir.
So clearly as of now there is nothing better than another thing, but अभी ये क्या बताता है?
Yes sir, I want to highlight here sir. There is aspirin plus prasugrel, aspirin plus ticagrelor, aspirin plus clopidogrel. Everything is in option. They have not recommended anything. Both three of these are class 1A recommendation.
हाँ तो एस्टेरिक्स होगा ना कहीं?
नहीं
A B जो लिखा है छोटा मोटा वो नीचे पढ़
class
दो.
1A sir. There is no asterisk.
है ना वो रेड वाले के ऊपर क्या छोटा सा?
Three, sir.
हाँ तो वो पढ़ो.
If patient is not eligible for treatment with prasugrel or ticagrelor, they combine both prasugrel and ticagrelor. Means they want to say that high bleeding risk or any previous CVM bleeding, so is clinical they have said, but they are not differentiated between प्रेसिडेंट और टिकाग्रेल सर।
ये जो आपका इसार वाला ट्रायल था उसका स्पॉन्सर कौन था?
सर
कोई भी ट्रायल पढ़ते हो ना तो उसका स्पॉन्सर होता है
सर। I have also mentioned this.
ये मेंशन मैंने तो सुना नहीं सर।
नहीं मैंने बाद में निकाल दिया।
बाद में निकाल लिया।
How this platelet transfusion will be helpful? What is the mechanism here?
જો સાહેબ પેલું હોય તમારું પ્રાઝોગ્રેલ તો એવું કહેવાય છે જે અંદરના પ્લેટલેટ છે તો ઇનહિબિટેડ થઈ ગયા એની વાર્તા પૂરી થઈ ગઈ.
એટલે anybody has done કે platelet count low છે કે
ના લોનો કોઈ મતલબ નથી તો જેટલા છે એટલા ઇનહિબિટેડ છે એવું જેટલા છે એનાથી બસ 30-40% કે 60% સુધી ઇનહિબિટેડ હોય બરાબર એટલે તમે માનો કે 1 લાખ કાઉન્ટ આવ્યો તો એવું સમજવાનું કે ઇફેક્ટિવ પ્લેટલેટ 30-40 હજાર હશે વધારે નહીં બરાબર
એવું માની લેવાનું
કારણ કે ધીસ ઇઝ પ્રાઝોગ્રેલ ઇરિવર્સિબલ ઇનહિબિટર એટલે જે ઇનહિબિટ થયા છે એ તો જીવનમાં પાછા આવવાના નથી એ તો પ્લેટલેટ મરી જશે 7-10 દિવસમાં નવો આવશે ત્યારે મેળ પડશે ત્યાં લગીમાં તમારે જો 6 કલાક પહેલા ડોઝ લીધો હોય તો એવું કંઈક હતું લગભગ કે 6 કલાક પહેલા ડોઝ લીધો હોય તો તમને હજી જે એસટીપી આપશો એની જબરદસ્ત રિસ્પોન્સ આવી જશે કારણ કે એક્ટિવ મેટાબોલાઇટ્સ બહુ નહીં હોય માનો કે 6 કલાકની અંદર પ્રાઝોગ્રેલ લેવાની હોય અને બ્લીડિંગ થઈ ગયું છે તો તમે જે એસટીપી બહારથી આપશો એમાંથી અમુક એસટીપી ને પ્રાઝોગ્રેલ એક્ટિવ મેટાબોલાઇટ ઇનહિબિટ કરશે you need to be very careful.
Here I want to confirm this. I have added this slide, but I didn't delete
ये
it.
कौन
Whatever
है?
German Center of Cardiovascular Research and Research has a term niche, sir.
अच्छा
Something is problem based.
so it was not a pharma company.
Pharma, not pharma.
ठीक है बट इसका भी कनेक्शन देखना पड़ता है
Yes, sir. कुछ indirect under the
हाँ लेकिन आप बहुत बोल्ड हो जाए यार हमारे ना हार्ड कहीं कंक्लूजन नहीं आवતું
Yes.
जहाँ लावा ही नहीं मांगता जैसी हो अभी इसमें किसका पेटेंट है अभी तो दोनों पेटेंटेड होंगे ना प्राज़ोग्रेल कितने की आती है और टिकाग्रेल कितने की आती है
प्राइस 160 प्राइस से जो है ना सर 160 का आता है सर अभी जो टिकाग्रेल का
अभी टिकाग्रेल का प्राइस काफी कम हो गया
सर सन फार्मा में भी 180 डेज का प्रैक्टिकल है उसका भी प्राइस अराउंड 2
इवन दैट अनदर कंपनी
मतलब 70-80 कंपनी नहीं आई ना
माइक्रोलैब्स ने और भी कम कर दिया है शायद
Yeah, so that means that they are having marketing rights. They are not producing their own,
Okay, sir.
right? तो उसका मतलब अभी भी है.
अभी भी पेटेंटेड
अभी भी patented.
but both drugs are patented
प्राज़ोग्रेल कौन बनाता है अपना?
I don't know what company sir Prasusafe
पर अभी ऐसा सुना है कि आप 3 या 4 महीने के बाद वो टिकाग्रेल के ऊपर से प्रेसोग्रेल पर ला देते हो
नहीं sir
ऐसा
नहीं।
कभी कभी करते हो
नहीं if we continue ticagrelor to continue we prefer ticagrelor over prasugrel any time sir if ticagrelor is not possible in like in Maharayana we do prasugrel sir
that is what you are people are doing it
yes sir but we don't prefer
in
prasugrel
my opinion you are doing this
yes because of the price
because of the price
last stage
आपने bleeding देखा है?
हाँ sir
टिकाग्रेल और या प्राज़ोग्रेल से
not
bleeding
major bleeding sir
नहीं देखा?
major minor bleeding होते हैं sir hematomas like that but can be easily manageable sometimes require 2-3 blood transfusion
वो तो कंसीडर करते ही नहीं हो ना और इकाइमोसिस हिमेटोमा वगैरह तो आप कंसीडर नहीं
वो
करते
तो is a expected complication they can manage easily
वो तो पेशेंट खुद से ही समझता है.
खुद पेशेंट समझ लगे ऐसा तो
वो तो होता है ठीक है.
फ्रैक्चर वाले पेशेंट
हाँ जो मेन आपके पास जो फॉलोअप के लिए आते हैं सर जो आज
वाले
मेन
पेशेंट को बहुत
कॉन्टेक्ट फॉर दिस
प्रोपिडोग्रेल वाले को तो बहुत होता है
yes sir coming to the final sir what comes next there has been many trial going to see the any other regime of antiplatelets there is aspirin free regime and they have been tried and there are two parental antiplatelet regimes like Cilatrotide and Allicin-4 these are subcutaneous antiplatelets injections these have been tried has been in trials thank you
Are you using glycoprotein to be clear?
Yes, in with severe thrombotic load in acute coronary acute attenuation MI in young patient, we have been using.
How do you check severe thrombotic load?
Doing angioplasty, sir, we can come to know.